Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't even wait. I want to make more clear for everybody the difference between a bill of materials and a cutting list. This, I understand, is not your set of stairs. It's a bit of a simpler thing in a way for what we're doing. So I wanted to use this. This is a serving tray. It's very pretty. Look at it go. I want to talk about this drawing. So without further ado, let's jump into it here. I've done all the work for us here. Here's our lovely orthographic drawing. The first step in any project, once we're given it, is to make drawings so we know exactly what we're doing. You may have noticed that there's a lot of repetition. In other words, if I want to know how long this piece here is, you can never ask me that because not only do you have it in your drawing, it may or may not be labeled, you can definitely measure it. You can go to your bill of materials and find out what it is. Hey, look, a bill of materials. Let's figure out what exactly that is. There, on a bill of materials listed is everything in the entire project and the very specific dimensions, 2 and 3/4, 3/4, all these things here. We get that by going from our drawing and determining what everything is. And it's a simple one. There are two ends with handles. There's a front and a back, and there's a bottom. That's 5 pieces. If you go to our bill of materials, indeed 2 plus 1. Last time I did some math, that equaled 5. So that is a good thing. There's 5 pieces, everything matches up. There's only 3 distinct pieces, meaning there are 2 sides with handles and 2 front to back to the same piece and 1 bottom. Hopefully that is clear. What I want to know when I go to this bill of materials is I have a piece, it's got to be a side with a handle. How big does it have to be? It's going to be 12 by 2 and 3/4 by 3/4. Trust me when I tell you that's the size, but here's the orthographic drawing of the piece even. You can clearly see it's 12 by 2 and 3/4, and way up here I've got a note saying everything has to be 3/4. Those sizes just get written down right here. So again, if you ever ask me how big is this piece, oh my goodness, I'm going to be so upset because there it is, and there it is. It's all there, okay? The bill of materials here is all filled out, so you can see what everything is. The cutting list, however, is different. The cutting list does not tell me finished dimensions of everything. The cutting list describes when I go to the back of the shop and I look at this rough pine, it's going to look like this. That's not my finished piece. My finished piece has to be nice and smooth. So my cutting list is going to tell me how much of this I cut to make the entire project. I have done a drawing right here which shows you in detail where the pieces are coming from. Please note, the bottom panel here is not lumber, it's a sheet good, so that's one piece that we cut down to size, just like your storage box. That's why it's not included in the cutting list, because, one more time, the cutting list is for rough 1x6 pine. When I go to the back of the shop, I need to cut, it looks like, 2 pieces. This is what it's telling me. Let's take a look at that. Here's all my parts that I have to make. There's 2 sides with handles and a front and a back. It's all laid out. These gray squares represent your 1x6. These pieces are nested inside of that. When we cut this piece of 1x6, we will not cut it to 12 inches because that is the finished length of this piece. We have to add some. I'm going to say 1 inch in either end, 2 inches, it's 14. And would you believe it, you may remember that it has to be 14, it cannot be 12 because the planer cannot accept materials shorter than 14. So this whole thing is perfect. The one piece of 1x6 we need to cut to get these 2 pieces has to be 14 inches in length. And if we go here, that's exactly what this says. It doesn't list thickness, it doesn't list width because it's right there, it's rough 1x6. We're not changing that. All I want to know is that when I go to the back of the shop, I'm cutting one piece at 14 inches, and that piece is going to yield me, is going to give me, I'm going to get out of that piece those things right there. And if we go to bill of materials, we can even look further. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, yeah, look, oh, there's the finished dimensions. That's great. So it tells us everything. However, we still need to get these 2 pieces. So if I flip back over here, finished dimension of these pieces is 16 inches. There's a width there, that doesn't matter. But nesting it, you can see that there's actually leftover stuff. We're going to use that to build something even better next time. That's all wonderful. I cannot cut a piece of 1x6. Rough pine, again, rough pine, rough pine, rough pine. I cannot cut a piece of rough pine that is 16 inches in length, or else I'm screwed. Instead, I'll add 1 inch in either end. And again, if I did math and I knew what that was, I would probably figure out the piece of 1x6 I needed was going to be 18 inches in length. And wouldn't you know it, there it is. This cutting list, you only look at it, well, you may look at it more than once, but you're looking at it right at the beginning to figure out when you go to the back, you're going to cut one piece at 14, one piece at 18, and that's all you need, okay? From there, you're going to start referencing this to figure out how you're going to do stuff, and of course, you'll have a checklist as well. Hopefully that makes things a bit better. If you have further questions about the differences, I'd love to chat at you about that, but hopefully this manages to sort that all out. Thank you. Goodbye.